So imagine then you have an inner army of plasma cells, of white blood cells that release immunoglobulins, antibodies that are strong defenses against internal invaders on a microscopic level, that memorize those invaders, pass the information to the legion of white blood cells so that your immune system can tolerate and defend you in any foreign agent in your inner world. Now, our research has shown, along with several other people, that when people can trade those survival emotions, those stress hormones like fear and anxiety and pain and suffering and anger and frustration and judgment and competition, for more elevated emotions, more heart-centered emotions, it is those heart-centered emotions that we are able to open our heart and feel kindness and compassion, and to have a love for life, and to feel gratitude and appreciation, really work with our body to elevate our emotional state. It makes sense then that if we do this properly, we are going to convert from the gas pedal of the sympathetic nervous system to teach our body to break that pattern of constantly being in survival. And when we start to feel elevated emotions, we feel less separate from everyone and everything, and we start to feel more connected to everyone and everything. And when we do this properly, we start to open our hearts, our research shows that we begin to strengthen our immune system. In fact, our research shows that for 10 minutes a day, 3 times a day, if you practiced feeling those elevated emotions, you would begin to release an immunoglobulin called immunoglobulin A, which is your body's primary defense against bacteria and viruses. It is the body's natural flu shot that creates an immunity to the environment, both macroscopically and microscopically. So then 10 minutes a day, 3 times a day, changing your mood and breaking the stress response and teaching your body that it feels safe enough to be in the present moment that it can create, that it's moving out of survival. Doing this properly, the body's so objective that it does not know the difference between the experience and the environment that's creating the emotion of love and gratitude and you doing it by volition. Your body begins to move more into the present moment, and here comes the parasympathetic nervous system. And now its job is to restore, to rebalance, to repair, to increase metabolic functions, to release 1,300 different chemicals that can begin to restore and repair your body. The body now is moving out of emergency, and there are resources to heal. And so feeling those heart-centered emotions and changing from fear, say, to love is going to begin to cause those white blood cells, those plasma cells, to release the proper proteins epigenetically that are going to cause your body to have a strength against any bacteria, a fungus or mold or even cancer cell. And we've proven that our students, by reversing cancer, have done this very exact thing. You won't hear about this in any pharmaceutical ad. You won't see it on any television commercial, because television commercials and marketing and corporate America wants people to believe that we need something outside of us to change our internal state. We need to rely on something exogenous from us to begin to heal us or to help us. And our work is about something else. It's about changing our inner state by thought alone. And so when we do this properly and we trade those survival emotions for elevated emotions, and we're able to practice that every day, it makes sense to us then that people are going to start to heal, and they are going to produce a legion of strong white blood cells that can memorize and attack any foreign agents. And there's been other research that shows that as fear levels go up, it suppresses our immune system dramatically. And when we elevate our emotions, we see then that we reverse that process. So I want you to think about the understanding behind that, so that the next time you are experiencing fear, or next time everybody else is worried about something in their environment, and there's a collective consciousness of fear, or collective consciousness of believing that something in their outer environment is stronger than the body's innate capacity to heal, that you have some resources, something to do with it. So many people have secretly wanted to not go to work. They have secretly not wanted to continue the routine of their lives. And this is a perfect opportunity for all of us to understand that you're breaking routine. You're not going to the same place. You're not seeing the same people. You're not doing the same things. Many people are confined to their homes or confined to a small environment. And why not then use this time properly? Why not, instead of waiting for this circumstance to change, if you're waiting, you're not creating. A perfect opportunity for you to retreat from your life and to begin to work with your body and to start dreaming again and creating, so that when you do emerge out of your dwelling or out of your home, you will be resistant to any condition in your outer environment, and that we are not victims to the circumstances in our outer world, that we're making those strong changes by thought alone. Think of your autonomic nervous system as the automatic nervous system. And I've been saying for years that autonomic is synonymous with automatic, and it's that part of our systems, a part of our nervous system that functions behind the scenes of our awareness, and it regulates body temperature and hormones and blood supply and blood sugar levels, and it happens without any of our conscious mind. So in the autonomic nervous system, there are two branches. So one is the sympathetic nervous system, and its job is for protection from threats and dangers in our outer environment. And think of the sympathetic nervous system as the gas pedal. And when there's a danger to the gross anatomy of the body by something in our outer world that we can perceive with our senses, this system is switched on automatically. And once it turns on, there's a host of physiological functions that begin to happen automatically. And when that occurs, we're mobilizing all of the body's energy, all of the body's resources for that threat or that danger to deal with it. And when it's switched on, we don't go half in, we go all the way in, because we have to make sure that the body is going to survive in a threat or a danger in the outer environment. And when there's a release of all those adrenal hormones, we're tapping the body's resources and we're mobilizing all of its energy. And pupils dilate, salivary juices shut off, respiratory rate increases, heart rate increases, blood is sent to the extremities, glucose is mobilized, the immune system dials up and then it dials down. And all of these systems switching on and turning on is to be able to allow the body to adapt to some threat in the outer world. And that is the gas pedal. And the sympathetic nervous system, or the fight or flight nervous system, causes us to really do just a few things: to run from the danger, to fight and stay, or to freeze and hide. And those are the primary choices that we have created in evolution. And so when the sympathetic nervous system is switched on, and as we've been saying for a very long time, the short-term effect of the hormones of stress, the body can adapt and return back to balance, and it switches on the other nervous system, that branch of the autonomic nervous system called the parasympathetic nervous system. And think of that nervous system as the brake or the clutch. This is where the body conserves energy. This is where it utilizes nutrients and transports chemicals to cells, and metabolism goes up. And this is a time for growth. This is a time for repair. This is a time for restoration. And there's a delicate balance between the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. And so then when you're feeling constant fear, when you're feeling constant anger or aggression, when you're feeling constant pain and suffering, and you're living by the hormones of stress, what was once very adaptive is now very maladaptive, because if stress is knocking your brain and body out of balance, and the stress response is what the body does to return it back to order, If we're living in constant fear, then we are tapping the body's vital resources, and there's no energy for growth, repair, restoration. There's no energy for long-term building projects.